In this video, I'm going to be covering the full breakdown of the organic strategy that I have used to land between 5 and 10 digital agency clients every single week for the past 3 consecutive weeks. Now, I almost feel like I should not be sharing the strategy with you guys because, like most skim affiliates, you probably know what they do is they will find a model that works, they will use it for all that they can use it, and then only then, once they are done using that model, will they turn around and provide this to you for 100% free of charge. But that's not what I do. What I like to do is I like to share with you guys exactly what I'm using and exactly what I'm doing. And that's why I'm going to be sharing with you the full process. Now, what I will say is that this is going to be a pretty lengthy training. So if you need to watch this in 1.25 or 1.5 speed, all you have to do is click on the gear icon, go to speed, and you can make me talk a little faster. However, I don't make content to satisfy people who have the TikTok attention span or who can't focus on one thing at a time. I'm creating content that speaks to digital agency owners and essentially allows them to regain their time, scale faster, and scale much, much easier. Now, this ugly looking illustration is the funnel that has added, it was 8 clients as of Thursday, but then once I started actually wrapping up this document, it ended up being 14 clients this past week in less than 20 to 30 minutes a day on average, right? How many of you guys would like to see that? Imagine all you're doing is replying to DMs and closing people. You're just checking your phone and seeing new Stripe, new client, new Stripe, new sub account, right? Now, this is essentially a very simplified version of what we're going to be covering, but essentially we are going to be focusing on using short form to promote the long form. The long form promotes the form URL, or it sends the DMs if they're not ready to buy yet, and then the DMs try to close them. That's essentially the gist of what we're doing. And to show you that what I'm actually going to be teaching you guys in this video works, let's look at my channel analytics. Look at this. So number one, I want to say 238. I understand that's not a lot of subscribers, right? I'm not telling you you're going to go viral. But of these 238 people, these are all people who are interested in working with me to some degree, right? Or they're owning a digital agency to some degree because of the way that I'm manually pushing and promoting it. So I'm going to share it with you exactly how we do that. So number one, look at the views. Up 2,800. That is 2.6K more than usual. Let's look at my typical range. 50 views in the low end. So I went from 50 views to 2,800. Can you imagine doing that in your agency, right? And this is under 3 weeks, by the way. Watch hours. Two watch hours a month. 303 this past month. Subscribers, 771% increase. Can you picture getting this kind of attention? Picture getting this type of these numbers of eyeballs on your content. Let's look at the last 7 days. Views, 52% increase. That's from the strategy. It's not only has it been crushing the past 3 weeks, but it's improving every single week. Look at this, 52% increase. Watch hours, 55% increase. Subscribers, 70% increase week over week over week. Absolutely nuts. Every time I check my phone, there's more engagement. It has been crazy. And if you're one of those individuals who is engaging with the content, I'm very, very appreciative for your time and for your attention. And I just hope that this content is actually going to help you improve your digital agency. So if you have any questions as we go through this content, drop all your questions below. I reply to every single comment. And if you are stuck on a specific topic, I will make content for you. That is actually why I'm making this content, because somebody said, how do we do this? So here I am making the content. So let's explain how this works. Now, you guys already know how much I cannot stand cold calling, cold emailing, and running ads as a beginner because they are cost and time inefficient as a beginner. They do not scale very well. To scale, you have to spend more time or more money every single time. And if you want more context on why social media is the absolute king of outreach methods, there's a training here. If you have this resource, you can check it out. There's also a video on the YouTube you can check out. Here's what you don't know. The reason why I love social media is because it compounds. Okay? Go look at any financial advisor. What do they tell you to do with their money? Put it into accounts that will compound your money. Put it into positions, stocks that will positively compound your money. Einstein said that the eighth wonder of the world is compounding interest, right? So we want to essentially use social media not only because it's free, Not only because it's going to build the best relationship, not only because it's organic sales, which we know converts higher, not only because it generates inbound sales, which we know converts higher, but now we also know that it's compounding. How many more things do I need to outline before you pull your head out of the sand and stop doing anything else but social media? Now, am I saying that these suck? Cold calling, cold emailing, and running ads? No. As a beginner, they suck. These are still very effective models, but as a beginner, they are not great. Now, when we look at this funnel, here's what we understand. This is very simple, okay? The more short form attention we get, it's going to push to the long form. So the more we get here, the more we're going to have here. The more we have here, the more we're going to go to your form or funnel. That's it. Look, if I had 2 lines, you could see this is a funnel, right? It's just a wide V. It's a wide funnel going to a very narrow call to action, a single call to action. Now, that's the easy part. The hard part is getting people to actually want to view your content or to get eyeballs on your content. That, along with the long form and VSL strategy, is going to be what I'm covering in this training. Now, before we even get into it, if you guys have seen my content before, you know that I like to focus on the mentality and the psychology behind these things, because that is going to be what essentially makes my content evergreen. If you understand the mental concepts behind this process, once this process that I'm showing you becomes outdated, the mentality and psychology behind it, they will never become outdated, because they are the mentality and psychology of people who consume content, of buyers. This has been the same for the past thousands of years. This will be the same for the next thousands of years, right? And here's a really great story to kind of explain that very quickly, right? This is explaining the difference between new business owners and experienced business owners. Let me know which one you resonate with. The new business owner, they want a website, they want a funnel, they want CRM, they need automation, they want ads, they got to have staff to run everything, they need the equipment for the staff, they need a logo, they need yada, 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 they need, uniforms, whatever, right? You get the idea. What does the business owner want with experience? What does the experienced business owner want? They want clients. They want clients. And before you say, oh, whoa, wait a minute, but isn't this stuff the stuff that gets you clients? No, it's not. And if you focus on the tools rather than what they do, you are going to waste time and money. So if you've come into this video and you're like, well, I want to do cold emailing, cold calling, running ads, and I need to get all this stuff set up, I have a feeling that you are probably falling into this category. If you are coming here and you're thinking, I'm going to do what it takes to get clients, you're probably either A, falling within this category, or B, you're being smart and you're listening to somebody who is already in this category. Now, I will tell you time and time again, I'm not the only person who can provide content for you that will help you in your digital agency. I'm not. That would be the most arrogant, egotistical comment I could ever make. What I am telling you is that I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing in lifetime, as you saw by the YouTube analytics, that is working. And when I show you what I'm showing you, you can actually go through my content and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, he's actually doing this. Now, what you need to do is you need to focus on getting clients. So when it comes to your digital agency, focus on getting clients. That will dictate everything. That will help you then identify which tools and practices will allow you to attract, convert, and retain those clients. The beauty of monthly recurring revenue is that it has to be recurring. It's only recurring if your churn is low, if people are staying with you, right? This is the number one thing I see actually from huge companies. I'll give you some examples. If you go look at commercials for phone carriers, right? Verizon, Sprint, US Cellular, I don't know. I know they keep like absolving and dissolving each other, but if you look at commercials for these companies, they're always having specials to attract new people. Where are the promotions for the retained clients? It's like, oh, we want to get you in the door. Once you're in the door, who cares, right? We got you in some kind of a contract. Usually they just give you a phone for $0 down, and then that's the way they keep their churn low, right? For you, you need to understand, how do I retain those clients? I already covered this in other pieces of content on the YouTube channel. But this is what we're trying to do, and we only do it by focusing on getting clients. And this is also why we have to niche down, which you can check out that video on my page as well. Now, this is where I'm going to get into some things that are probably going to upset a few of you. You may not agree with it. You may not align with it. You may not want to do it. Like I've told you guys earlier, I don't really care. I don't really care how you feel. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to share with you the ways that people are making money online, that are pulling 6 to 7 figures a month, which I'm not there yet. I will be soon, but I'm not there yet. And I'm sharing with you these models. So if you are not reevaluating everything the way that I reevaluated everything when I had these individuals explain this process to me, you're not teachable. You're not coachable. You're probably not going to improve your business time over time. If you're going to listen to what I'm about to share with you, because it is, I don't want to say mind-boggling, like what I'm sharing with you is some like crazy secret, but it will definitely force you to rethink some things like it did for me, okay? Now, I don't think you're going to believe me, but I have 2 or 3 guys who show me the simplest funnel ever. 2 of them I've spoken to. The third I've not spoken to, but essentially one of the guys that I did speak to, he was showing me the funnel, and it's the exact same funnel. Here's what it looks like. They do short form, which I already showed you, to long form. Long form is linked, and they have a form URL in description. Form URL. Think about this. Not a funnel, a form. So they'll use a Go High Level form, a Google form, even a Jot form, right? And then they use some kind of automation software, so Zapier, or if you have Go High Level, so just an internal Go High Level notification, and it just tells them, hey, DM or text a lead, and here's their information. That's it. So that means, like, let's say you're not using Go High Level. That means that you can use a free form software like Google Form, or maybe you have like a free Jotform account. I don't use Jotform too much, so I don't know what accounts they have. And then you link it with Zapier, which gives you 100 free automations, simple automations, which is like form submitted, send email or send text. Form submitted, send, notify somehow, right? Update in Slack, right? So you can use 100 simple automations, or 100 zaps they call it, but it's basically 100 automations of the same automation. And you can do that every single month without paying a single cent on software. Think about that. These guys are running what they do is they do like a Jot form. The people I know, they do a Jot form. They use Zapier, and it puts it in a Slack channel and then notifies their team to reach out. Do you understand how cost efficient that is? You're talking about what is Slack? It's like $3 or $6 per month per user, and then the automation I've just told you is free, and then Jotform is like a couple. I don't even know how much Jotform is per month, but you're talking about extremely cost efficient. If you switch Jotform to Google, you're talking about the most cost efficient model I've ever seen in my life. Now, granted, if you already have Go High Level like most of us already do, then you can make it a little nicer, right? You can track your metrics, you can split test. You can create enhanced automations, but I want you to focus on just how simple. Look how simple this funnel is. I can't even draw it out because it would just literally just be so simple. It'd be like image to image to image. It would just be that simple, right? Look how simple. I mean, I could draw it out. I guess it would look kind of like this. And then once they fill out the form, it would just notify them to DM them, right? It is really, really that simple. Now, how do we actually get this funnel going? Now, if you're thinking, whoa, I don't want to do something that simple, you can still link your funnel in the description, right? You can still link your, form, whatever you're doing. But again, the focus is is really getting clients, right? It's making people come through the funnel, and so you can get clients. And the first thing you need to do is you have to stop trying to close on the first date. Stop trying to close on the first date. If you're trying to close on the first date, that tells me how good your love life is. That tells me how good you are in sales. Bad at both. Guarantee it, bad at both. And if you are good at it, I guarantee I can tell you the third thing, which is the quality of the people you're closing. Now, the number 2 reason that I cannot stand cold calling, cold emailing, or running ads as a beginner is because the focus is always conversion. That means that the content and the message behind it become transparent. And so to combat the transparency, agency owners will say or do anything to get a meeting. I mean, I've even seen people fill out like contact forms. Like I had a lawn care client and they filled out the contact form, which was like, what property are you at? So he filled it out. And then in the message, he put like, oh, I'm a marketing agency owner. I was like, it was so cringy. I've seen people PayPal people $1 with a message attached. Like we could, look how unique we are. Desperate, bad, awful, embarrassing. Desperation. When they're using these desperate methods of outreach, or they're sending desperate messages, desperation reeks of poor quality, which indicates that you suck at what you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be using these desperate, painfully embarrassing methods. So how do we get around coming off this way? How do we get around just going in for this very transparent outbound outreach, right? We focus on 7 touch points and 7 hours. I call this the double sevens. So according to people who are much, much smarter than me and their research, it takes about 7 or 8 touch points before somebody's interested in buying, right? It also requires 7 hours of content consumed to create lifetime fans of your brand. And now this is assuming, you don't fall in the deep end, right? You don't just like get on stage and start screaming racial slurs, right? So this is 7 hours of content consumed to create lifetime fans of your brand. So how do we generate 7 touch points and 7 hours of consumable content? Social media. You can't do it in cold calling. You can't do it in cold emailing. You can't do it in running ads. social media. And let me show you exactly how we do it. So what we do is we have group engagement, DMs, social media profile, long form content, and then the form and funnel URL. Now the chronological order is we create the long form content, we then create short form content to promote the long form content, and then we start engaging in groups. And people will tell you, if you jump into local groups, if you look at your local clients, if you look at whatever communities you're a part of, if you're looking at the groups, the pages, if you're speaking to people via DMs, they will tell you what problems they're having. And so you can push them from the DMs straight to the long form content and say, oh, I have video content that can help you on that. Or you can push them to your short form profile. Hey, follow me. I'll make content based on the problem you have. And they will tell you what problems they're having. You can essentially start basically kickstarting this process. And so they will tell you, the group engagement will tell you what content they want. So you can, from the group, you can say, oh yeah, follow me on this page. Here's what I can do. Here's how I can help you. Hey, I've got video content on this. Here's a video. It's free. Hope it helps you. Or hey, you can DM me with any questions, right? So in the group engagement, we never, ever, ever push to the form of the funnel. Now, I'm not saying don't go and drop your link. What I'm saying is don't post things like, hey, who wants 25 new clients? Hey, who wants this in their business? Hey, who's tired of it? Stop closing on the first date. It's like you're going to the bar at midnight and you're trying to close on the first date, and then you're surprised when you're taking a lot lizard home. If you don't know what a lot lizard is, please don't Google it. But you're just taking home low quality people if this is the method that you're using to close. And if you're taking home low quality clients, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to stick. They're not going to become case studies. It's going to be a painful waste of time and money. Don't do it. So instead, we promote an open, welcome inbound DMs. We promote following on social media, and we promote the long form content. And I'll give you the exact structure, but this is the visual I want you to understand. Group engagement, and this doesn't have to be first. You can DM pages, your social media will attract people as they share it, and then your long form will also attract people. But the focus is kickstarting it with group and DM engagement, and never, ever, ever going straight for the kill. Never going straight for the form funnel, right? So what's the frequency? For the long form, you're doing 1 to 4 long form videos per month. So at least 1 a month, at most 4 a month. For your short form, you're doing 3 to 5 short form. This is per week, actually. And these are promoting the long form. And then for your stories, you're doing 3 to 6 stories a day just to stay relevant and going. And you can just literally, if you want to know how to do a story, this is how you do a story. Ready? You pull up your phone, you go click, and then you put it on your story and go working on a video. You pull up your phone and you pull up your mug of coffee and you go click and you go drinking some coffee. You pull up a case, you get a testimonial or a case study, someone DMs you, you screenshot it, you put it in your story, you go, cool, clients are doing well. That's it. The whole point of the stories is to show you're a human, you're personable, and you're doing what you said you're going to do. So your testimonials, your case studies, you just screenshot little things, and then you can throw in some call to actions like, hey, check out this post. Hey, hit me up on social media. Hey, check out the funnel, right? And then by demand, you just reply to DMs and you DM followers as they come in. So somebody DMs you, you DM them back, right? I actually reached out to a guy. This is wild to me. I actually reached out to a guy and I was about to pay him $6,000 for his package. He didn't reply to a DM. So he just lost $6K like that. And then you can DM followers as they come in. So if someone follows you, you can just DM them and be like, hey, thanks for following me. Like, what brought you in? And you can kickstart the inbound sales conversation. So like we said, we want to push our content manually. So how do we do this? Well, let's look at the rules. And these rules, by the way, they refer to this image. Number 1, we never push directly to the former funnel in groups. Number 2, we push group engagement to DMs for more help, to the social media profile for more content, or to YouTube for in-depth concept breakdown. So in the group engagement, people will post questions or issues either in a post or in a reply to a comment. And then you can essentially come in here and you can say, oh yeah, here's some value. If you want, DM me for more help. You can say, oh yeah, if you want to follow me on social media, I'll create content around this. Or you can say, oh, I already have content around this, and here's a link to the video. Now, when you DM people trying to close them, or they try to close you, if they don't do well, you can just push them to the profile for more content. You can say, oh yeah, well, if you want, you can follow me on social media and I'll provide more content on whatever pain point you're having. And so this is where we talk about in the other videos, where essentially you're using social media to essentially retarget people for 100% free. Again, you can't do that anywhere else. And then remember the profile, if you're following this frequency of posting 3 to 5 short form pieces of content per week that promote the long form, the short form pushes to the long form. And the long form pushes to the funnel or the DMs, which recycle back into the long form, right? So the long form, let's go back up here. The long form pushes the funnel or it goes to the DMs, which recycle here or recycle back into the funnel. So that's what I mean by that. As your socials increase, their gravitational pull increases. So I don't care if you're a flat earther, just bear with me if you're a flat earther and this is like painful to see. But if we look at gravity, as something becomes heavier, it's going to sink more, which means the things around it will start sinking in. As the things around it sink in, it becomes heavier and heavier. The gravitational pull increases. So if this is your social media presence and you start getting more followers, more views, more short form, more long form, it's going to essentially get heavier and heavier, and you will get followers faster and faster. And this is all from using this approach, or this frequency right here, this frequency in this visual approach. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the long form content. We're going to say goodbye to traditional lead magnets. So the long form should replace lead magnets. Traditional lead magnets are dead. They're gone. Finito. Bye-bye. Instead, we create lead magnets, which we then read off of our screen. Sound familiar? What am I doing right now? We read them off to our screen. That's it. There's no Mr. B style edits. There's no, hey YouTube, in today's video. No, there's none of that, right? Look how calm and collected I am. Go look at other digital agency owners doing something similar to me. It's very to the point, right? And if you're wondering, do I need to be, going crazy? Here's what I'm going to ask you. Do you want to go viral, or do you want to attract clients? We've got to focus up. You have to focus up. Maybe the end goal is to go viral, but right now the goal should be getting clients. Remember, new business owner, experienced business owner. Which one do you want to follow? Which one do you want to be? Now, to create your lead magnets, you need to solve very specific problems. You need to go very in-depth vertically. You need to get microscopic, but only solve one problem. So you're not going to solve the problem before your problem. You're not going to solve the problem after your problem. Those are for other videos, and that allows you to link them, which will increase your views, your watch hours, and your touch points. Sounds like the 3 metrics that we want to get more people in the funnel. So this is what it looks like. The goal is to push them to a YouTube VSL. From the YouTube VSL, we're using other YouTube lead magnets, which this is a YouTube lead magnet. And you'll see at the very end of this video, I'm going to push you to a YouTube VSL or the funnel. So we create one video, which pushes to the VSL. This video solves one problem. So let's say like whatever the first chronological problem is for your client, like getting 25 clients. Sound familiar? Picking your niche. Sound familiar? These are chronological problems for a beginner. If you're working with, dentists or doctors or any kind of blue collar industry, the first problem is going to be, let's set up your digital agency, your digital presence, right? And then let's start pushing traffic there. And there's going to be subcategories within all of that. So maybe like local SEO, local PPC ads, right? And so you can have all these videos. And then what you do is to promote these videos, you create short form mini promotions. So this, again, remember, this is the 1 to 4 times per month. This is the 3 to 5 times per week. And then your stories are even the 4 to 6 per day. Right? So this short form, this is going to completely change the way you look at short form. Short form should be used to push to long form. Long form is not you just coming in and pitching. I'll show you how to structure that. The long form is you creating content that it shows that you know what you're doing, it provides value, and then positions you as an expert. So when it comes time to close, they'll be more interested in working with you rather than somebody else. And so think about this. If this is 1 month or 1 week, all this content promotes this long form. You go to your next video, and then you make more content promoting this one. So if you have, look at all these categories over here on the left. These could all be short form pieces of content to promote this one long piece of content, right? Then we tell the audience to DM us for access to this free document. Wait a minute, what did I start this video off with? Hey, if you follow me on YouTube and DM me at Alec J. Roy on socials, I will give you this resource. Oh, I'm telling you to do exactly what I'm doing. Who else is doing this? Who else is being honest with you? And I'm not talking about in any other field. I'm talking about in the go high level space. What other affiliates are doing this? If they're doing that and they're being honest and transparent with you, great. Follow them, engage with them. If they're not, probably a scam affiliate. Now, when they DM you, it will reveal the exact problems they have. Then you handle them as an inbound lead. This is crazy. I'm showing you the exact strategy. If you DM me and you tell me, hey, can I get this access to this document? It's going to tell me that you're not getting 5 to 10 clients a week. You're not doing it organically. You're not doing it through YouTube. If you DM me saying, hey, I want the training on how to get my first 25 clients, that tells me you don't have 25 clients. If you're DMing me like, hey, can I get access to how to niche down? It's telling me you haven't chosen a niche. So what can I do when you do that? And what do? Is I have a conversation with you and I try to figure out where you are. I try to provide value. And then I say, hey, if you want to work with me, we can do this a little bit faster. So you get value out of it. I get the chance to try to pitch you as an inbound lead. So if you DM me, by the way, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Am I pushy? No. Am I salesy? No. I try to provide value. And so when we're looking at the long form types of content to use, we basically use these three right here. So concept breakdowns. I'm breaking down this concept, right? Status delta. Status delta is essentially where you are, it's basically just a concept breakdown, right? So we can actually change this, and this would actually be a VSL would be a better one. So concept breakdown, and we'll put this in parentheses here. Status delta. By the way, you see me editing in live time. This is why I use Google Drive and Google Docs as my lead magnet, because as I update it, if you already have a copy of this, it just updated for you as well, making it more accurate, right? You don't have to go and request it 1,000 times. So concept breakdowns, which are you just break down a concept. A video sales letter where you focus more on old way bad and then, hey, work with me for new way good. And then case studies. You want to show people this is where my client was before me, with me, after me, and this is who my client themselves, are telling you should work with me. This is the only 3 pieces of long form content we do. Here are the long form content types that I'm going to make this say do not use. You're not going to do instructional how-tos. You're not. These are great for views, but they're not going to do much in terms of generating clients, since it only appeals to the DIY community that does not want to pay, right? If you don't want to pay to do something, you're going to YouTube, how do I do this? Right? I do it. I did it for a client last night. We're trying to figure out her setting up Gmail as an STMP. I did it myself, and I just went through YouTube to do it. I didn't pay a VA or anything, so I just sent her the same YouTube video. That guy's going to get views. He's not going to get clients or sales, right? So all the instructional how-tos do are friend zone you. That's it. They friend zone you, right? In your content, what do we do? How do we show the following, right? So you have a big problem or a big hook that you're solving. For me, it's the big hook was how I get clients using an organic strategy, full breakdown. What not to do, what I tell you guys not to do. No cold call, no cold emailing, no ads as a beginner, no instructional how-tos, and no pushing from a group to a funnel, right? What to do, I showed you the exact structure of what we do. I'm showing you right now the format, the framework of what to do. I'm showing you the frequency of what to do, right? That's what to do. I'm showing you in the order to do it. What I tell you, I said make the YouTube first, then the short form, then the stories, then the group engagement. Then I explained to you why already, because we're using it as a funnel to push down. It's going to convert higher. We're using organic sales methods. And then you can even use, I've got this link in here in this document for more structured templates. This is actually really cool. Look at this, 100 persuasive copywriting formulas that convert. So you don't have to use, I always talk about PAC, problem agitating content. I always do like problem agitation, frame yourself a solution, old way bad, new way good, call to action. Look at all these different frameworks that you can use. And then even headline formulas you can use. This is not my resource, as you can see. And it breaks it all down for you. This is not my resource, but it's linked in the document. So if you get the document, you can see all this. I mean, you guys see how much value I'm trying to provide? Yes, this is a longer video. No, I don't care. My intention is not to get views and to satisfy TikTok viewer spans. It's to provide value. Now, we are never going to show the how. Never show the how. That is what they need to pay for. They need to pay for whatever the how is. So if you're like, well, hey, Alec, can you help me do this for my business itself? Or hey, can you show me how to do this in my business? Not for free, I can't, because when I make generalized content like this, anybody can view it, anybody can consume it. When you need my one-on-one attention, that takes time out of my day. So that's where it comes into the payment range. So that's why the how is never for free, because they need to pay to work with you. And then when they come to work with you, they've got to pay. So this is how we get out of the friend zone. So if you're like, oh, I'm getting views, I'm getting attention, but I'm not getting sales, it's probably because you're doing the how a little too much. It's probably because you're not following this framework. And I'll show you even how to do the VSL. And so where does the VSL come into play? So now we factor in our video sales letter, which is a VSL, and then we add in another step into the YouTube portion. This is actually going to increase your YouTube SEO, because instead of having external links on every YouTube video, which YouTube no like, you can have it under the VSL. And so then your other videos, they link to the VSL, and I'll show you this illustration that maps it out. So basically what I was doing is I was using this format, and I had a YouTube coach reach out to me, and he was like, hey, because you have a link to your form and funnel under your main YouTube, it's actually tanking your SEO, because YouTube doesn't want people to leave their platform. So he said, instead what you do is make a single VSL that will have your external links. Nothing else will have your external links. And then these videos, these main videos, will essentially push to this VSL. And so that's where we look here, right? So he's saying have the VSL. This has the link. These videos only link to this VSL. And then that VSL is the one that actually has the link under it. So hopefully that makes sense. Now the VSL, once you create it, it's going to go into one of two places or both. So at your YouTube, so top of YouTube, so I'm actually going to be redoing my VSL to make it a little shorter, but right here VSL, and then the top of your funnel. So if this is the top of your funnel, this would be your VSL, right? Now how do we structure the VSL? So let's understand some key factors. Number one, you want it to be about 5 to 7 minutes. Number two, the average page takes about 1.7 minutes to read. And then number three, there's tons of formats, but I'm going to go ahead and share with you just an 8-step simple VSL framework. So in the 8-step simple framework, number one, you have a big promise or hook. Remember, this is going to mirror some of the other structures, right? Because they're all relatively around the same thing, just variations. So a big promise or hook. So in this section, you're going to give them a big promise or hook, and then you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. What did I do in the beginning of this video? The big hook was how I'm landing clients organically through YouTube. Here's what I'm going to be covering. Short form, long form, VSL, blah, blah, right? Social proof. Did I not just share it with you my channel analytics, right? The channel analytics showing you, okay, this is actually working. Now, if I had student results who have been using this, I don't yet because this is brand new. Nobody's seen this training until me dropping it right now on December 19th, 23. Student results. So then I put in my student results. Relate to current experience. Explain the beginning state of the client relating to the prospect. How did we help them? So this is where you would say, okay, cool. My students also started before they got their results, they also started where you are now, which is, and then you describe their current state. Then you go into, so how do we help them? And that transitions into your step 4, introduce the mechanism to go from point A to point B. And what I do for all of my clients when I'm writing these VSLs is I break it down to 3 steps, always 3 steps. I don't care if they have an 8-step process, 3 steps is going to be the main one, right? Even SASO, simplify, automate, scale, optimize. That's a 4-step process. I would simplify it into 3 steps. So step 1 would be, hey, all you do is book a call to work with us. We teach you blah, 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 blah. Step 2, this is what we do. Step 3, you sit back and get the results. Step 3, you see everything kick in, right? So just a very simple 3-step process. Look at however many steps you have. See how you can segment it into 3 steps. So step 1 being starting, step 2 being the process to work, step 3 being you get results, you see results compound, your life is easier, you're hitting point B, right? And then you want them to picture it. So you say, imagine this, right? And this is what I did in this video, right? Imagine getting these type of eyeballs in your content. Imagine seeing this type of traffic in your funnel, right? This is exactly what I do in my content. And then the first call to action, next step, so you basically just say, hey, this is where you if you want to sign up, this is how you go to the funnel or the site. And I can do that right now. So if I come up here and I go to university.sasofunnels.com, this is where you would go to sign up. And you would essentially come here. And then if you are a new affiliate, you can click here. There's actually a holiday special right now where you can join for 50% off your first 3 months. If you're an existing affiliate, you can upgrade to SaaS to join SASO University for free. And if you don't want to do either of that, maybe you don't want to use a Go High Level at all, maybe you're already a fully maxed out affiliate, you can click here and pay 100% directly right there, and then you'll gain access. And so once you do this, you actually just, once you sign up, you actually just get an email. If you don't get an email, all you got to do is DM me. Guess where you're going to DM me? At Alec J. Roy on all social media platforms. So not only did I just interrupt my content to give you a little commercial, but I'm showing you also how this works, right? Call to action and next steps. Disqualifier. You clarify who this is for and not for, and this will actually increase your sales. So you're going to say, hey, don't sign up if you're lazy. Don't sign up if you're not dedicated. Don't sign up if you need somebody to hold your hand just to get you started in your day, right? This is for people who are dedicated, driven, motivated, and want better for themselves and their families. They understand they need some guidance, but they actually take the guidance and run with it, right? That's who this is for. So just like I just disqualified people, you do the same. And the second call to action, if this is you, if you're the type of individual who can actually do the work, who can actually follow a process, who can actually ask questions, who can actually be as consistent as humanly possible, granted life happens, but be as consistent as humanly possible, you've already taken the first step, right? They took the first step. You've already taken the first step. Go ahead and click the link, join, book a call, blah, 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 and let's work together. And so this is me doing the same thing, right? Here's the next steps, right? So as I end in every video, if you've seen this before 1,000 times, you can always do this alone. This is extremely challenging, or you can just work with me. And if you work with me, you're going to get these results significantly faster and much quicker than if you were to do it alone, right? You're going to be able to get case studies faster, have higher quality case studies. You're going to get exact scripts and frameworks for your social media content, DMs, sales calls, and you'll be able to create a protocol that allows you to scale while retaining previous customers. And so when you join Go High Level as my affiliate, number one, I'm going to guide you on building your entire funnel and social media strategy via one-on-one onboarding call and in a group coaching environment. You're going to access to my full antithetical market offer. You're going to get free website and funnel reviews. You're going to get immediate access to tons of free trainings that I released centered on client acquisition, scaling, fulfillment, optimization, and much, much more. You get access to 90-minute group coaching calls weekly, which we're actually going up to twice a week, rather. You're going to learn how to streamline and automate businesses using Six Sigma practices that are tailored to local service-based businesses. We have a local SEO course coming early 2024, and we have a full SOP on how to automate your own agency so you can work less than 3 hours a day once your business replaces your full-time job. And so you can click the link here, or you can go in the description and click the link. Appreciate you guys watching these videos. I know this video is a little bit longer, but again, this is for the people who are serious. This is not for the people who have the attention span of a squirrel or need, like I said, Subway Surfer at the bottom of the screen. So if you have any questions, hit me up on social media. If you want access to the document, subscribe and hit me up on social media, and I'll see you in the next video.